don't pass the exam because you're listening to people who took the exam 5, 6, 7, 20 years ago. The advice most of my students get is just take a lot of questions. Don't read the book. That is a sure way to fail. Yes, there are some people who can just take a lot of questions and game the exam, but they're the ones you're always jealous of in school. They look like they weren't even trying and they still ace the exam. Fuck them. Almost every single student of mine says that the advice they get from their supervisors, that's the advice they get from the supervisors. I even heard of a few getting yelled at because they're reading the book, and I had one guy who ripped the book out of their hands. Some of those people took the exam in the 90s when the questions were drastically different and the vendors were helping write the questions. FINRA, which used to be NASD, ended that practice a long time ago. And there may have been some lingering questions over the last, 15, 20 years, but that's pretty much gone now. This is not your father's Series 7 exam. The questions have evolved to be much more about suitability and less about definitions and the easy math problems. FINRA drastically changed the exam in 2011 after they did a huge study of all the register rep activities, and they changed it to more suitability. Then they did the big change in 2018 where they split up the test up into the SIE, which is the basic securities exam, and the series licensing exams. The Series 6 top off, which lets you sell mutual funds and variable annuities. The 7 top off, which lets you sell basically any security, plus others like the 57, which is for equity traders, or the 79 is for investment banking. This test is not an IQ test. It's a work test. If you do the work, a majority of you will pass. But quite a few students have their priorities reversed and they work on questions. Weekends should be the time when you make the most headway in studying. You get to sleep a little later, you start studying while you're rested and not after a long day of work. Most people just power through the books and try to memorize the material, which is a near Herculean task. It's super hard. Look, I'm not saying to just shoot for a C-, but in reality, that's all you need. So don't try for an A. It's a waste of time and will add much more time, more unnecessary weeks to your schedule. Don't let the book scare you. They all make certain topics seem much more difficult than they should be. Like margin on the real exam is very straightforward, very simple, and barely on the test. Super simple. The books make it seem like some Herculean, I use that word again, crazy, complicated math problems with variables that a margin clerk could have a tough time with. So on the test, they need you to understand the impact of certain basic actions on your equity and your SMA. That's it. I feel they do the same thing with taxes. They add some question and they find some obscure point buried in the text that the actual test will never even come close to hinting at. Leave the crazy tax questions to the CPA exam. And don't get me started on T-charts with the options. I fucking hate them. It's such a lazy way to teach, and they haven't changed it in 30 years. And the problem is the questions change. It's not all basic math. My students are coming back to me saying there's less and less math, and it's more on suitability and the general concepts of options, much less about break even and max gain, max loss. How does fucking grandma fit in a T-chart? What does grandma want to do? I don't know. Let's throw in a T-chart. She's not going to fit. They have nothing to do with it. And then you're not going to have any idea what an option is. So the way I teach it, I really go at trying to make you understand it. Not so much that a trader, you can trade the damn things, but so you understand them. So at least you understand what it is. So if they throw a curve at you, which they do on the options, not crazy, but a little curve, and it's more about concepts, you can understand it. So here are my 10 things that you need to know for the test. 1, don't memorize the book. It's not possible. Don't even try. It's going to take you forever. Don't over-highlight. Don't take a lot of notes because you have no idea what's actually on the exam or actually important. Everyone thinks they know what's on it, but they don't. So don't highlight. Don't take a lot of notes. Just read the book. Get the big picture, okay? Get the big picture and only write down stuff that you're having trouble with. And you come on my live and ask, or ask a tutor or ask a teacher, whatever it is, but don't rewrite the book because it's not really going to help you. And it's going to take you goddamn forever to finish the book. Do not read the book just once. Try twice. Read it once, read it twice. I have a lot of lawyer friends who say when they read a document, they read it once to get the general gist, and they read it again to get a deeper dive. And then the third time, I'm not telling you have to read it 3 times, but on the third time, they fucking own it. So the more you read the book, the better it is. And if you don't understand something, just write it down and ask for help. If you follow the way I'm saying, where you don't rewrite the book and you get the big picture, reading it more than once won't be all that bad. Number 4, don't just do questions. It doesn't work. Yes, it works for some people, like I talked about before, but you're not meeting the 80% of people who just do questions who are fired and no longer have jobs. So read the damn book in addition to doing the questions. Number 5, do not sweat the margin. As I said, very simple, very, very, very simple, very straightforward. And some people didn't even see any questions. Do not stay up late the night before. Cramming it one up. This is not college anymore where you can stay up the night before. You don't know what it is. Sleep is fucking underrated. So you should say, if you know you're taking the test on a Thursday, by Monday night, you should be in a sleep schedule that what you would go to bed on Wednesday, you should be doing Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday. Don't cram. Don't stay up late. It's not going to help you. It actually hurt you. Do not blow off customer accounts. I am telling you, number 7, do not blow off customer accounts. It is easy questions, and it's absolutely going to be on the exam. Everyone thinks it's just on the SIE. It's not. It's actually on all the exams, okay? There will absolutely be customer account questions on the exam, and enough to hurt you. Number 8, don't worry about getting questions wrong. You can get 35 wrong and still pass. Remember that on the 7, you can get 35 questions wrong and you still pass. Not with flying colors, but you still pass. Think about that. You can get one question for every 4 questions you take, you can get 1 wrong and you still pass with a cushion, okay? You can get 10 in a row wrong 3 times. You can get 3 in a row wrong 10 times and still pass with a little bit of a cushion. So don't sweat it. Let questions go. If you don't know it, move it. Don't put the shit that you don't know in the mark for review. That mark for review is for stuff that you're truly 50-50 on, or a question that's so long that you can't answer it right now. And you have to own this. You're gonna get 15 to 20 wrong, maybe 25 wrong. It is. You're going to get those wrong. It's what you do with the rest that matters. Understand there's gonna be 5 or 10 that you have no idea what they are, and just let them go. Number 9, do not feel bad if your studying goes longer than expected. Seriously, do not feel bad if your studying goes longer than expected. You are not them. You are not Joni. You are not Mary. You are not Bob. You are not Michael. All those people, other people who do it faster or slower, it is not you. You need to do it on yours. Now, granted, some firms have deadlines and you have to worry about that. But if you don't, and it takes you an extra week or an extra 3 weeks longer than you expect, so fucking what? Who cares? It's fine. You're gonna rock this thing, okay? Just take your time and do it right. Do not let people pressure you to take it. And the other thing is, don't tell people when you're taking it unless you have to. Because God forbid you say, I'm taking it Monday. You're going to get a million texts on Monday night, on Monday morning, Sunday night saying, good luck, good luck, good luck. And they think they're doing well. They're just making it worse. And then now if you miss it, then you have to go back and tell all those people that you missed it. So you're better off not telling anyone unless you have to. Now, here's my being a nice guy. Don't freak if you don't pass, okay? Seriously, if you don't pass, it's, as I say, everyone, I should get a t-shirt. It's a 30-day problem in a 20-year career. Seriously, I had a guy, he came into me, he failed, he thought he was going to be fired, he wasn't. He nailed it 30 days later, and they didn't even act like, they didn't even recognize that he failed it the first time. Nobody cares how you get past, just get through the door. Get the SIE done, the 7 or the 6, and get the 63 or 65 or 66 done. You get that done, and nobody cares how you got there. Nobody cares how long it took. It's not going to affect your bonus. It's not going to affect what they think of you, because lots of successful people fail this exam. There's definitely people who are really good at their job who fail this multiple times. This has nothing to do with whether you're good at your job. It's whether you can take a test. You will be fine. And don't let the test define you, okay? Don't let this fucking ruin your life. You will be fine, pass or fail. Don't let the test decide what you're going to be or not, or your self-worth. When you're done, you can take all your friends out for dinner or whatever it is to make up for the last 6 to 8 weeks that you've been ignoring. On to the 66.